Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with the weekly reading for the ENFJ Alternates for the week of August the 3rd through August the 9th. We will be pulling 8 cards in the Divine Feminine, 8 cards in the Divine Masculine in accordance with the 8 human chakras, so that we can best understand how to manifest our highest timeline. If today is the first time that you've seen my smiling face, or if you are unfamiliar with what the words, ideas, old, tribe, flexible, and direct mean, I would suggest that you fall back and watch the video that will be linked saying, have you been doing MBTI wrong? Because there is a fine chance that you have. I've already done a pre-meditation and a pre-shuffle, but I'd like to get a couple more just to make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. And now we will begin pulling with the base. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. In the sacral, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the Nine of Wands. In the heart, we have the Four of Pentacles. In the throat, we have the Queen of Swords. In the third eye, we have the Six of Pentacles. And in the crown, we have the Six of Cups. And then rounding out our message on the bottom of the deck from the Divine Feminine, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Next up, we will be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Masculine. The Divine Feminine, the cards already on the deck, tell us what the current situation is. The Divine Masculine lets us know what steps we can take in order to best manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. And so, we will begin pulling with the Crown. We have the Fool in reverse. In the third eye, we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. In the throat, we have the Four of Pentacles. In the heart, we have the Ten of Cups. In the solar plexus, we have the Wheel of Fortune. In the sacral, we have the Page of Wands. And in the base, we have the Three of Wands. And rounding out our message on the bottom of the deck, from the Divine Masculine, we have the Nine of Wands. Let's dive in and see what the cards are telling us today. We begin in the base because that is base existence. Do you have a home? Do you have provision? Do you have a job? Do you have money? This is the area that governs that. This is the area of responsibility for love and wrath. So you may be giving away a little bit too much affection. You may not be receiving the affection that you feel like you deserve. Neither one are entirely good. For you in particular, as an ENFJ alternate, the base is going to be governed by what has happened in the past and the organization of the best things, the SI. But for you, this is an area that you do not have a great understanding of. This is the base. There's not a lot of good reception down here, and so you're going to have a tendency to not organize things, to not remember what has happened, not keep your appointments, things along that nature. For you today, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Now, when the Wheel of Fortune is standing tall, this is sudden change coming into your life that you may not be in control of. This is fortuitous change most of the time, but not necessarily. We have the various symbols of magicians, right? The astrological Hebrew alphabet here. We have the cherubim surrounding it, the 4 elements. It is an overall balanced card. This is a 10, and 10s are about learning a new path. So the change that is coming involves you learning something, right? But you are not currently learning. Right? This is in the reverse. You are not currently changing. It's only about to happen. I mean, this is the current situation. When it is in reverse, it is negative in the manner that you are not doing this. You are not taking the steps, or someone else is taking the steps, or you're not meant to take the steps. This is you are not currently changing. You are not currently learning. Now, clarifying that with some actions that you can take from the Divine Masculine is to learn some change. Wands are spirit, fire, life, light, logos, and change. This is the Three of Wands, and 3s are learning, right? So there is something for you to learn here about the first part of the path, dealing with change. This is learning about some change. This is learning about change as well. This is you are not currently learning change. This is you need to learn some change. And so you have a hard time with that SI, right? What has happened in the past. That can be a reticence to let go of things that you think brought you happiness, even if it did not really bring you happiness. This is the area, right? The SI base, I share this. It's an area of addiction. You have a tendency to hide things by addiction if you have an SI base. And so that very well may be what you need to embrace the change about. Not necessarily, but it can be. Next up, we're going to move to the sacral. The sacral is the area of physical generation. What are you trying to create in your life? You envision it with your third eye, you put it into place with your sacral. This is the area of physical generation, and it can mean children. It is the area that governs lust and chastity. Are you giving away too much physical affection? Are you not receiving physical affection? Neither one of those are particularly good. For you, as an ENFJ alternate, this is going to be TE. What do other people think? What is their rationale? How did they make their decisions? Now, the sacral and the trickster is the same energy. And so you're going to have a tendency to misunderstand here, to think that you're making the right choice, but you are not, right? You are intentionally choosing the exact wrong thing. And what do you have? The Ace of Swords. Now, swords are soul, it is air, it is thought, intellect, and communications. So there may be a thought or a communication. When it is standing tall, this is a brand new thought. This is a brand new idea. This is a brand new communication. Ones are realizing that there is a path. Oh, look, there's a path. Should I take it? I'll make the choice with two, but I'm realizing that it is there. This is realizing that there is a path. You don't realize that there is a path, right? That is what it is saying. There is a path, right? Or else this card would not show up. This is you not realizing that that path is there. You're not learning about this change, right? You need to. You're not currently. Now, clarifying that with action that you can take. This is a page. Pages are about understanding, right? This is just after you learn. You have to understand what you learned in order to put it into place and rise to the challenge. This is the apprentice card, right? You're not learning the new things. You are reinforcing the things that you have learned. You are understanding the information that you have taken in. And this is you not doing that. Now, this is you actively not doing that. It's because you still have learning to do, right? You can't actively be understanding if you still have some learning to do. And the 3 here is telling you that there is some learning to do, right? The wheel is telling you that there is some learning that you're not doing. This is telling you that there is a new thought or idea that you're not realizing. This is you not understanding. Now, this is you actively not understanding. If it was standing upright, this is you seeking understanding. He is standing here. He's not moving, right? He's got his wand, but he's looking at the end of it. He is contemplating all of the options, right? He is trying to understand the best way to go forward to rise to meet the challenge. This is you not doing that. Now, that can indicate that you're not meant to, right? That this change is happening. You've got some understanding going on. There's a new situation that is arising that you're not realizing. And because you're not realizing it, it's not quite time to understand it yet. This can be telling you that you will learn, because these are sequential cards. Kind of, right? The 4 and the page are the same. And so this is telling you that there is something about change to learn and something about change to understand, but you cannot understand it until you learn it. Now, we're going to move to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is quite literally what changes your food into fuel. It's tied to your stomach. You consume here in the throat, it gets digested in your stomach, and then it powers what you are currently doing and what you want to do, and what you want to manifest, and your communications. And so this is the area of gluttony and temperance. You may be over-consuming the things of the mortal coil. You may be under-consuming the things of the mortal coil. Neither one are particularly good. Asceticism is definitely overrated. For the ENFJ alternate, the solar plexus is going to be governed by NE, which is the future possibilities and foresight. This is what fuels what you want to do. So you want to be able to see these things, but you got low reception. This is still quite low in the stack. And so you don't have the best understanding of what the options might be. You have a tendency to overlook some options, right? You're really good at choosing the best option when you are presented with all of the right options, But sometimes you just don't have all of the options, and so you can't choose what you don't know. You have a tendency to just go ahead and choose even though you don't have all of the information. What we have for you today is the Nine of Wands. A 9 is about a choice, right? This is more of an active side of things, and so there is this is you enacting things. This is how you get it done. So you have to make a choice about some change. There is a learning situation about change. There is understanding about some change. There's a new idea leading to some change. There's a lot of change happening here. This is another change card, right? Wands are spirit, fire, life, light, logos, and change. And so there is change happening. This is active. You are in the process of this. This is a new choice. This is a higher path. You can see that he is victorious, right? These wands arrayed behind him, those are the attackers that he has already defeated. But he's got a bandage around his head. It took him some damage to get there, right? It was not an easy road. It was not an easy process. This is defend yourself, right? Choose to defend yourself. Choose that the change is a good thing and that you need to be in it. And that is clarified with actions that you can take by the Wheel of Fortune standing tall. Right? When it is in the reverse, this is change not happening. When it is standing like this, it is change happening. You have it in your active slot as change needing to happen, right? In order to fully realize this choice, you got to realize that there is going to be change, right? There's something to learn about change, something to understand about change, and change that needs to happen. And so there is definitely something in your as below trinity that needs to change. Now, we don't have any clarification of what that is, right? There might be some communication, there might be a thought, but for the most part, this is just saying change, 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 right? And then you got one card over here saying it's an idea or communication that you don't even realize. That can be a little disheartening, I understand. Let's see if we can get some further communication. Next up, we're going to be going to the heart, and the heart is what you want to create in your life. This is the area of manifestation. It governs greed and charity, and so the greed is being associated with the mortal coil, is clinging to things a little bit too much. Charity being associated with the spiritual coil is not loving things enough. And you are meant to have some things, just not all of the things. You are meant to give away some things, just not all of the things. And so neither one are intrinsically good in and of themselves. This is the area of what you want to create in your life. For you, as an ENFJ alternate, this is going to be FI. This is what are the past feelings? How have I felt about this? And what are my morals about it? Now, morals are what you have decided is right. Ethics are what everyone else has decided is right. You really want to be moral. You want to stand in your morality. You want to feel good. You may not, because you have a tendency to let other people feel good instead of yourself. But what you want is to make moral decisions based upon all the options. Next, or in the heart, you've got the Four of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles are body. This is provision. Do I have a home? Do I have food to eat? Do I have a job? Do I have money? All of that is tied to Pentacles and the base. What you have is the want to manifest good things. Now, this is a 4, so this is an understanding of the earthly path. This is you have learned a new job and now you are executing the new job, but you're not ready for promotion into a new job, right? You're not quite ready to meet all of the challenges of your job, but you are understanding the things that you have learned so that you can rise to meet the challenge. You can see that he has one pentacle at his head. That is the knowledge that he has already gained. There's 2 more under his feet for the path that he needs to be on, and he is nurturing the earthly path. He is holding on to one, and so this is past, future, and present, all wrapped into one, and it is continually working. Right? This is an understanding card. Now, clarifying that with actions that can be taken from the divine masculine is spiritual and emotional fulfillment. The cups are body spirit, whereas pentacles are body body. This is body spirit. This is familial connections. This is spousal connections. This is work connections, and this is just your friendships. But it's not the people, it's the emotional connections attached to it. And so cups are about emotions, and a 10 is learning a new path. Now, you have some understanding that comes after learning. You have some change that is going to happen after you get some learning. This is understanding emotional, right? This is understanding change. This is understanding emotions. This is emotional maturity. This is on the higher path of emotions, right? The second half of the set. And so this is understanding in a mature way what your emotions are and why you should react to them in the manner that you do. This is acting with emotional maturity to learn, right? And that is going to lead to understanding of the earthly path. Next, we're going to go to the throat, and the throat is the area of communication. This is what do you need to communicate, right? This is pride and humility. So you may be taking too much credit for work. You may be giving away too much credit for work. Neither one are intrinsically good. For you, this is going to be governed by SE, which is what are the current things? What is it? Or exploration. Bring me the new experiences. This is not narrowing down to the best things, but simply here are all the options, right, of the physical things, not the ideas, the physical things. And so when a new game comes out, a new car comes out, a new something comes out, you're one of the first people to know about it and to tell other people about it. What we have for you today is the Queen of Swords. Again, thought and communication. We have a thought and communication. It's a new one that you are not aware of. This is communicating that, right? Now, this is a communication card in a communication slot, so there's probably some communication that needs to happen. It's an idea card as well, so it might be related to an idea, but it's more likely some communicating. She is sitting in a position of authority. She has her sword, but it's not pointed forward. She's merely holding it in case she has to defend herself. She's pointing forward with her other hand. She's seated. There's authority. Like she has, the clouds have cleared from the top. She is seeing clearly for the first time. She is able to see farther than she has been able to before. And so all of this is about a new thought, a new communication, from the ace, right? But this is nurturing that. This is taking the energy in and giving it the right amount of nourishment, right? This is not planting the garden and not harvesting the garden, but weeding the garden. This is fertilizing the garden. This is watering the garden, right? This is putting energy into in a positive manner to nurture things. And this is nurturing a communication or a thought, but probably a communication because of where it's at. Now, clarifying that with steps that you can take, you've got the Four of Pentacles again in the upright. This is active, right? This one is you reach an understanding because of this emotional maturity. This is you need to have this understanding in order to nurture this communication. And so there is something about the change that you need to learn and then understand that's going to allow you to see this pathway, and then you can communicate effectively. And once again, like he is seated here with two under his feet, that is the past, and one over his head, that is the future. And so or I got that backwards. This is the past and that is the future, because this is the path that he can walk upon, and this is the knowledge that he has, and then he is nurturing his heart. Next up, we're going to be going to the third eye, and the third eye is where you envision your future. This is you conceptualizing what you want. This is you putting it into place. This is you actually manifesting it, right? But this is the physical application. The third eye is where you envision what you want in your future. This is the area of sloth and diligence. So are you working towards that future, or are you just expecting it to pop up all on its own? It's not going to do that. And so neither one of those are intrinsically bad, right? You are supposed to take some leisure time, but it shouldn't be all of the time. For you in particular, as a ENFJ alternate, the third eye is going to be governed by your personal thoughts and logic. So What do I think this is going to logically lead to? What are my thoughts on the situation? And you're going to have a tendency to get defensive over your thoughts, right? If someone challenges your thoughts, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time accepting that. Even if you're wrong, you're going to have a tendency to be defensive here. And so what we have for you is the Six of Pentacles. This is a charitable distribution card. This is, you have overcome the challenges. Right? The six is overcoming a challenge. This is a queen on a lesser level. Now, this is the queen of, or the equivalent to the Queen of Pentacles with the first understanding of the earthly path. And so with the five, you face deprivation, right? You understood you had to get a job, right? You chose a job, you learned about the job, you understood the job, and then there was some challenges and you lost your job. That's the energy of the Five of Pentacles. This is you on the other side of that. You used to need charity. Now you are giving the charity out. You can see that he is handing something out and he's got the scales. That is balance. That is justice. That is equal. There are two people here. Always the two is going to mean that there is balance. And he has arrayed above him the benefits of the earth, right? So this is an overcoming and growth because you are being charitable. And so what you envision for your future is a charitable situation, right? You want to help other people. That appears to be this energy. Now, clarifying that with steps that you can take is the Ten of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Swords, when it is standing tall, is about learning things, but it is about a lot of people attribute it a betrayal card, right? Much like the Three of Hearts. This guy has been stabbed in the back 10 times. There are, in his past, a whole lot of betrayals. That is how this is commonly interpreted. This can be a culmination card. Tens are about culmination sometimes as well. This can be bountiful harvests when it is the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Cups. The Swords is a little bit different, right? This is more of a challenging learning, right? There is something here about expanding upon an idea, expanding upon a communication. Now, this can be betrayal, and if so, then the reverse, it's not being betrayed, even if you feel like maybe you are. I do not get anywhere else that type of an energy. Like, we got emotional fulfillment in your actives, right? This is not feeling betrayed. This is cooperation because it is in the negative. If it was standing tall, this was possibly some betrayal, possibly somebody not acting in the right manner. But because it is reversed, it's a double negative. It is more of a positive card. And so this can be the completion of an idea, or more likely learning about the idea in a different way. Next up, we're going to go to the Crown, and the Crown is where you interpret what the divine is telling you. You get a message from the divine, you filter it through, and you feel responsible for it. This is the area that is in charge of hope and despair. So if everything is going terrible and you're still making alchemical gold, this is where it's at. If everything is going shitty, or everything is going great and you're still finding things that are shitty, right? You're choosing to be depressed. This is the area that's going to govern that. For you in particular, this area is going to be guided by best possibilities and guidances. Now, you're going to do this very well, right? When you are presented with the right ideas, you're going to be able to choose the most likely thing to happen. But there's a tendency to not get all of the information before you make the choice. And so often, before you make the choice about an idea, you just need to take the time and make sure that you have all of the options available to you before you make the decision. For you today, we've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is going to be about overcoming challenges related to emotions, right? Cups are emotions, six are overcoming the challenges. This is, again, the equivalent of a queen, right? On a lesser level. The queens are more about almost to the completion of the final path. This is a better understanding, rising to the challenge, and then really digging in, right? So for some people, this is a card of reminiscence, right? There are two children here that gives people a sense of nostalgia. But there's a guy over here, and he is guarding them. There's the home where they are safe. The cups of provision are filled for them. This is an emotional maturity card, right? There is some degree of emotional maturity. There is another 6, right? So overcoming the change and the challenge, much like the 6 of Pentacles, this is a positive, right? This is, you're on the backside of the challenge and things are going well. And that's what you feel responsible for, right? You feel like you're responsible for the things going well. Now, clarifying that with some actions that can be taken is the Fool in reverse. This one's going to be a little bit harder to get into because the Fool, when it is standing tall, is about embracing the journey. This is about, I am the guy that needs to learn some things. Here is the whole world presented to me, and I need to get out there and figure things out, right? That's what the Fool is about. In the negative, this is a little bit less of an exploratory energy, right? This is more of a, let me take a step back, right? Now, let me not quite hermit and exclude myself from the world, but maybe not be as actively engaged in it. Now, some people see this as someone who makes foolish decisions. That's not what I look at this for. Like the very first video in the Exploring Tarot, we talk about that this is a journey, right? And this is who the journey is about. This is about you. You are the Fool every single time. There are multiple ways to attach the Fool to every one of these sets. But 1 through 7 is a whole journey for the Fool. And then 8 through 14 is a whole second journey for the Fool. And so all of these cards are related to the Fool in very real ways. He is getting out there, he is exploring, he is getting the emotional maturities, he is exploring the ideas, he is doing the work. It's all about the Fool, all about you. Maybe it's not all about you, right? Now, again, this is going to be a little bit harder of an energy to say because you have this nostalgia card here, and the active thing that you can do is to kind of rest in it, right? Maybe this is not seeking out new opportunities, right? You have this change. This change has to happen. Embracing the change has to happen. Learning about change, new idea, new pathway, understanding some change. And so all of this is change, right? And then you have here nurturing generous energy, nurturing generous energy, nurturing generous energy. And so it appears to be that then maybe it's not about you, right? This, if it was standing tall, this is your journey. This is you in the spirit of nostalgia. This is you not, right? Let's see if we can get some further clarification because really that is, I don't know how to interpret the Fool in a negative way right there. Like hope and despair, is this you choosing depression? Because the Fool is ever hopeful, right? He is fully prepared when it is standing tall, right? He's got his stick, right? And while that's not everybody's cup of tea, if you are on a journey, you need your luggage. And that's what this is, right? He's got his package on here that's got his food and his clothes and things like that. He's got a dog down here warning him about the step that he's about to take off of the ledge, right? This is positive exploratory energy. And then you've got it in the negative. And so maybe you're not supposed to explore. Maybe you're just supposed to let it ride. Next up, we're going to the divine, and this is not attached to the virtues and vices, but for you in particular, this is going to be guided by how is everyone else going to feel, right? The future feelings and ethics of the situation. What has everybody else decided is the right thing, right? FI, morals, is what have I decided is the right thing. FE, ethics, is what everybody else has. Now, you have today the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Now, you've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, which is a new thought and a new communication. This is the Ace of Pentacles. It is a new work path, right? This is kind of a stay on the same path. There is change that is not happening yet, but that kind of needs to happen. You need to understand and embrace and learn about the change. This is kind of stay on the path until it happens. And I see that we have another change card up here, and we're about to get to that. But we have the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, when it is standing tall, is a brand new opportunity. It is a brand new job. It is a brand new home. It is more money, right? It is something beneficial, unfolding, brand new. It is a 1, and that is the realization of a path. It is the earthly path that's dealing with provision and money. And so this can be that you are not getting a new job. There is change, and it may not be related to a job. There is communication and an idea that may not be related to what you're doing, right? There is not a new path unfolding. You're kind of supposed to stay on the same path here. And that is being clarified with actions that can be taken with the Nine of Wands. Now, Wands is change again, right? We've got a Nine of Wands down here. Both of them are standing tall. This one is fueling what you're doing, and this one is what you need to do. And so you are currently being fueled by a choice. This is that same choice that is going to be because of some change, that enacts some change through learning and understanding. And so this is a defensive energy. He is standing here. He has defended himself against all the attackers. He's a little bit injured, but he's fine. He is able to stand. And so this is kind of there is a choice presenting itself to you, right? And it's really funny to get these two together in this particular configuration, because what we have here is things not changing, and then we have a choice about change. So this may very well be telling you, all right, that you have a choice about change, but maybe you don't need to make it, right? And again, right, you have so much change energy in here that there is a change happening. You have it in the negative, not doing it for the Wheel of Fortune in the base, and you have it happening, needing to happen in the solar plexus. So it's possible that somebody else is enacting some change that is brought about by this communication that you don't know about, or this idea that you don't quite know about yet. But this is continue on your earthly path, but there is some change coming, and you are going to have to make a choice. Now, this also can mean, right, you have it in the reverse, and the action that you can take can reverse the reversals. And so if you make the choice about change, it might be able to open up a new path for you. And so that does appear, right, now that I'm really taking it in, that does appear to be what's happening here, right? The divine is telling you, you need to make a choice. You need to make a change. Now, the Fool in reverse, it's a cautious change, right? You're not throwing yourself off a cliff. You're taking slow, methodical progress. That's kind of the opposite of the Fool. The Fool is all about getting out there and exploring. And so this appears to be that if you make this choice about change in the correct manner with the right information, that it's going to be beneficial and it's going to unlock a new path for you. That appears like these two aces in reversal tied to this change really does feel like there is a change in acting. And if you embrace that change and you make the correct choices about that change, then it is going to lead to a lot of beneficial stuff. Like the Wheel of Fortune is a beneficial card. It is change, but it's generally change in a positive manner. And you've got that twice. And you've got emotional fulfillment up here. You've got the Fool, even if it is in reverse, and that's always a good thing. You've got the Six of Pentacles, which is abundance to the point where you can do charity. So overall, it's a great read, right? But there's a little bit to understand about it. There's a little bit more that you need to learn about it. And it's probably related to not suppressing your feelings in order for someone else to feel good. That's going to bring us to the end of the reading, and hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment. If you agree or disagree with anything that was stated, put it in the box down below, and if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you are a reader with a different interpretation, you are more than welcome to drop that as well. If you really like what I'm doing, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book, where I teach you to do magic responsibly and MBTI the right way. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Bit State. Peace.